Hello everyone. I'm UCI Taniguchi, your math instructor from Alpine. Thank you so much to everyone who is watching this video, following up from the previous one. For those who watch this video until the end, we have a special bonus prepared, so please stay with us until the very end. Alright, so the theme for today is the UPCAT Pitfall series, part 1, Calculating Percentages. Today, we'll be tackling two questions that may look easy at first glance, but many UPCAT exam takers end up making mistakes on them. Let's try to solve them within the time limit and see if you can avoid the traps. So, without further ado, here's the first question. Try to solve it within 10 seconds. Go ahead. Alright, so, were you all able to solve it? At first glance, it seems easy, but did you really arrive at the correct answer? Here we go. First, let me talk about a common mistake. A certain number increased by 25%. Then, after that, it decreased by 25%. So, thinking about it like this is actually a mistake. Are you following? You can solve percentage calculations with simple addition and subtraction. So, what should you do? Let's look at the correct method and technique. Alright, here's the right way and the technique. This time, instead of finding the actual number, we're going to figure out how much it changes. And when doing the calculations, there's a technique to avoid making mistakes. Use fractions. Got it? By using fractions instead of decimals, you greatly reduce the risk of calculation errors. Let's get used to doing calculations with fractions. Alright, here's how to do the correct calculation with fractions. First, since it increases by 25%, that's 125/100. Then, from there, it decreases by 25%, so what's left is 75/100. If you multiply those together, the answer becomes 0.9375. That's correct. But since we're looking for the change this time, we can't just stop here. Alright, so if you subtract the 0.9375 we just got from 1, you get 0.0625. Then, if you convert this to a percentage, it becomes a 6.25% decrease, and that's the answer. So, in terms of the choices, the correct answer was B. Did everyone get it right? Okay, to make the calculation with fractions a bit easier to understand, let me explain it a little more clearly. If you think of the whole as max 1, and it increases by 25%, then, well, the formula would look like this. So, if 0.25 is added, that means the total becomes 1.25, and as a fraction, that's 125/100. Right? In the same way, if it then decreases by 25%, if we consider the whole as 1, then 0.25 is subtracted from that. So what remains is 0.75, or 75/100. This is what remains. Alright, that wraps up the first question. It looks simple at first glance, but were you able to reach the correct answer for sure? When calculating percentages, you basically set up multiplication equations, so make sure to keep that in mind. Now, let's move on to the second question. The time limit is also 10 seconds. Give it a solid try. Here we go. Ready, start. Alright, so how did everyone do? There's a tricky part in this one too. Let's go over it. This time, first there's a 30% discount, and then an additional 20% off after that. So, thinking that it's a total of 50% off is actually a mistake. Got it? As I mentioned earlier, you can't just add or subtract percentages in a straightforward way when calculating them. So, what should you do instead? Let's take a closer look at it step by step. Alright. Just like before, if you get a 30% discount, how much is left? You subtract 30% from 100%, so you're left with 70%, right? Yes. Thinking about it that way, the formula would look like this. Of course, use fractions. This is to avoid calculation mistakes, okay. So, the formula is 70/100 times 80/100, and the answer is 0.56. Yes. But this 0.56 is not the final answer, okay. Are you following? Because this 0.56 is the percentage related to the final price, right? But what we want to find this time is, we need to think about how much was discounted, the percentage of the discount, right? So, just like earlier, if we take the maximum percentage, 100%, and subtract 0.56, we get 0.44. This is the percentage that was discounted. And if we convert this 0.44 to 44%, the answer is a 44% discount. So, the correct answer, represented by the symbol A, is 44%. Alright, we've tried 2 questions so far. Were you able to get both of them right? When it comes to consecutive percentage changes, you need to multiply the rates of change. Never simply add or subtract the percentages. That's a common pitfall, so make sure you remember that. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched the video up to this point. As for PopCAT entrance exam questions, at first glance, they might seem easy, but there are some tricky pitfalls, and there will also be slightly more difficult questions. I'd like to offer you all a special set of practice problems to help you prepare for UPCAT. Please follow the Elfin official Facebook page using this QR code and send a message with the word special via Messenger. We're looking forward to receiving lots of messages from you. We'll also be providing more and more videos and practice questions to help you prepare for UPCAT, so if you have any questions or requests, feel free to message us anytime. That's all for today. Thanks for your hard work. See you in the next video.